A new AEW signing has been revealed, plus WWE is calling an audible on creative plans. We're going to break that down, and we have a very interesting story surrounding AEW Collision and why I think this is great news. It's all coming up right here on The Ango Show.
Yes.
Hopefully you guys are all having a good day. Don't forget, we do got a giveaway at 100,000 subscribers for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship replica belt. Guys, I want to show you an article from Wrestlenomics, and this to me is super cool. You guys know that AEW is doing the Path to All In, which is basically a series of events, AEW Collision in Arlington, Texas. It's happening at the Arlington Expo Center and Esports Ventures, and Brandon Thurston of Wrestlenomics broke this down. Now, what I want to do is break this down for you guys because there is some very interesting information here. I'm hoping that this would become somewhat of a permanent idea because we've talked about this before, but these details are just incredible. So Brandon Thurston says that AEW is paying a 50% discounted rate of $232,000 to the Arlington Expo Center. Basically, they have a series of events going on from July to August, and basically what you guys need to know is that this seems like a pretty damn good deal. Now we're gonna scroll down a little bit, and I'll put the full link in the description for you guys as well. But the venue contract shows that the $232,000 cost to AEW breaks down as $112,000 to the Arlington Expo. The term sheet says that AEW will pay Esports Ventures LLC $120,000 or $15,000 per event for the use of the venue, broadcast suite, and equipment. AEW claims one paragraph in the venue contract is a trade secret, which was obviously redacted in the city's record that was released to them. So keep that in mind. There is obviously some information not being put out publicly. But one thing that I really loved here was this. According to a table on the executed contract, AEW will move in and move out of the venue in intervals when the company isn't running events at the venue. They're going to do this 5 times, but the term sheet says AEW's production rig will stay in the venue throughout the residence, which should allow AEW to keep costs down. The use of the venue's production facilities will also allow AEW to avoid leasing a production truck for the stay. So obviously the reason for this, or the purpose, is to cut costs. AEW Collision will air early on August 3rd. This is due to WWE SummerSlam. And then obviously, yes, for those who didn't know, Collision is being taped on a Thursday that week. Now, this is where things get actually really, really crazy, fascinating, and exciting for me. AEW could cover the $232,000 venue costs by selling just over 5,000 tickets at an average ticket price of $45. So it's inexpensive. Assuming that average ticket price, AEW could make the venue cost back by averaging about 650 ticket sales across the 8 events, which is very nice because that means AEW doesn't have to sell as many tickets. If you keep going, there was some talk about AEW subletting the space to New Japan or CMLL during the days of AEW not using the venue. That was just some internal discussion, but nothing was confirmed on that. And yeah, this is just like a really cool thing because basically AEW, even though it's not going to be like a $1 million gate, which obviously, you know, if you're selling tickets for $45 and you're only selling 650 of them, yeah, you're not making $1 million on that. But the point that I'm trying to make is that this is cost cutting. It's a smaller and intimate, it's a more intimate venue. And in addition to that, it's scaled for 1,290 tickets, right? So 1,290 seats. Guys, I think this is a no-brainer for AEW. You should be trying to do smaller venues, and by coming up with deals like this, you get to save money, but also you don't have to have the poor visual of a 10,000 seat arena and only 2,000 people in there. I like this a lot. I hope it becomes a permanent thing with different venues throughout the United States where they kind of do like these little tours, maybe 5-6 episodes or 5 or 6 weeks worth of taping. WWE plans on altering some changes for Braun Breaker absolutely love this. WrestleVotes revealed today that WWE has considerably altered its creative plans for him and is slated to be a major focus heading into the Netflix era. The Netflix deal will see Raw move from the USA Network to the streaming starting January 1st. One source told WrestleVotes that with his age, speed, look, and pedigree, this rare combination of talent isn't to be overlooked. And obviously, WWE has long-term plans. If you watch the WWE product, it is relatively clear that that is the case. But with Braun Breaker, guys, let me just kind of throw this out there. Braun Breaker was a beast in NXT. And I was very, very concerned with what Braun Breaker would do on the main roster and how they would handle him. I was very concerned. But the way they've approached it thus far with Braun Breaker, it is great. It is really great. And I'm shocked because I didn't expect them to nail it. This is one of those NXT call-ups. This era of NXT call-ups might be the greatest that they've ever had because a lot of these people are moving from NXT to the main roster relatively the same. The only thing I have negative to say about Braun Breaker's main roster run literally has nothing to do with Braun Breaker or the booking. It has everything to do with the theme song that they gave him, but that's something I'm always going to be critical about because this theme music in wrestling is just not that great right now. But Braun Breaker in the WWE, on WWE Raw, going into Netflix, they're changing their plans. They have plans to do something really big here, and I can't wait to see what it is. Clearly, they want him to be the star of Monday Night Raw. You know, Gunther and Braun Breaker wouldn't be a bad World Heavyweight Championship feud. I'm just saying. You know, look, I'm one of those guys. I don't think you always need to rush someone into the world title picture, but Braun Breaker should absolutely be involved in the title picture at some point. And if you really want to, like, not shove him down your throat, I have no problem with them giving him the IC title. You know, maybe after Chad Gable drops or whatever. We still have a lot of time from now until 2025, but just keep in mind, WWE clearly has something in the works. And guys, we got to talk about it. AEW has officially signed Alicia Atout. I feel like I'm pronouncing her last name right. And this is actually a really interesting thing for those who don't know her. I remember watching her interviews on Ambi, and then I remember seeing her getting into MLW. And then I remember, and I swear I could be totally wrong on this, so please do not like hold me to this, but I'm pretty damn sure she was on the very first AEW Double or Nothing. It was either the first Double or Nothing or All Out. It was one of them. I was there. I remember seeing her. Great backstage interviewer. This is a great signing. I see some people on social media who are talking about this, and they're saying, well, hey, she's in a relationship with MJF. And that's the only reason why she got hired. And obviously people are just going to be negative and be spewing hatred and stuff like that. But I've seen her work. She's a great interviewer. AEW bringing in a backstage interviewer, there's literally nothing wrong with it. They revealed the signing the minute that they did the digital exclusive after Dynamite. She did a couple interviews, one of them being with Mark Briscoe. She's a great interviewer. She's got a good voice. Honestly, like... watching her outside of AEW, it makes sense for AEW to bring her in. I don't know what happened between her and MLW or whatever, but that doesn't matter. Now she's in AEW. For those who are mad that she's in a relationship with MJF and think that's the reason why she got signed, even if that is true, just understand that she's like actually talented. I'm excited about this. I think it's good when you bring in fresh interviewers. I like when WWE does it. I like when AEW does it because sometimes, you know, if it's Renee Paquette the entire time, it just kind of becomes stale, right? You want to freshen things up. You want to freshen up the voices on commentary and interviews and all of those other things. So, yeah, Alicia Atout, actually all elite now. We'll see how it all unfolds. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Ango Show.